it is a little tricky. Aaron Hall, I'm sure you've heard about it. The clips have resurfaced, and we're going to play a little bit of one of them. A Vlad TV interview a few years back where he talked about, and let's be real, the interview was in 2015, okay? And he was sharing about his exploits, the life and times. One thing that we will do, you put a mic in front of somebody that is not quite at their heyday anymore, they're going to sing about those times and talk themselves right into something. That's a side note. But Aaron was sharing what he felt, his experiences, and he shared that everybody from Denzel to Jodeci to Diddy saw him having sex before he's packing, all of these things, right? But he also talked about in this video when he first met his son's mother, Gloria Velez, and how he got her. And we're going to play that. But the reason why this is relevant is that Gloria was 16 at the time when he met her. He met her. She was dancing backup for Luke, that Luke, 2 Live Crew Luke. Luke had strippers dancing backup for him, right? So the assumption is that she lied about her age. She had a fake ID because you can't be a stripper. So he met her in that environment and he didn't ask for ID or her age when he took her to the room and did what he claims he did first night. And then he said 3 days later she got a tattoo and they were locked in after that. I'm not sure at what point he found out her true age. Kind of don't know what to say about that, right? So we're going to listen to Aaron's comments, and then Gloria, who also, we'll start with what he said. But here's the thing. Gloria now currently has a podcast on Vlad's podcast network. And coincidentally, a couple of months ago, she talked about Aaron's viral clip and the commentary about her. And she, had a follow-up comment to it. Mind you, she did this interview with Cisco. She's been in a lot of Cisco videos back in the day, and she and Cisco actually hung out for a minute. I don't know if you guys remember when Cisco did the Thong Song video. He was pictured at the end going to his hotel room with Gloria and Melissa Ford. Just want to put that out there. Gloria was also featured back in the day on a video that is infamous and has made its rounds. It's a Luke video. It was in Cancun, and Luke was infamous for having these parties. And Gloria was on the video. This is one of the early internet drops that we saw. Was on the video doing some things that she probably shouldn't have been doing at her age with another woman, right? Again, underage. Some people are asking where are her parents. She was in the streets. She was trying to hold herself down, take care of herself. And she was in a place where the assumption would be if you meet someone there, they are of age because they probably shouldn't be there. They definitely shouldn't be working there. So we're breaking down the allegations against Aaron Hall, and we're taking a little look back into some comments that he made that could be potentially damning for him. And also looking at what his son's mother has said in response to all of the things that are coming around because, like I said, obviously these old interviews are coming back up. She has a podcast on Vlad's network currently right now, and she addressed these comments just a few months ago. One of her first guests on the show was Cisco. And Gloria, she was also a video girl. She was the girl in Big Pimpin' video that had on the fur and the hat. She was in Ja Rule's Holla Holla, walking down the street. She was in DMX, What These Want from a... all of these videos. She was known. She bad, beautiful, but she was mad young. So Aaron was about 30 when they met. She was 16. Again, they met when she was a backup dancer for Luke. And Luke weighed in on some commentary about this, but we'll get to that. Let's hear what Aaron and Gloria had to say about his comments.
Out there from Jamie Foxx to Denzel Washington to whoever. Everybody know me.
Yeah.
So everybody know if I say it, I'm a it to death. I like the in public, you feel me?
Yeah.
So can't say nothing about it. Them square, them precious cake little
Yeah.
I like for them to see how I like. If you speak to Jodeci or Puffy or any of them, they been at my house. They all see me. They all know I'm a big.
Yeah.
If a touch my and she say my is small, then she's a lying. The thing is, a whole lot of write about taking girls out to shop, taking girls to fly to Dubai and all that. Close your eyes, we anywhere. You feel me? And my whole thing is this. My whole thing is this is that
talk about it.
If you can handle my and you can make me still be Aaron Hall without rapping out of your mouth, then I'll take you anywhere. Other than that, you back home.
So those were Aaron's comments. You know, he said he walked up and snatched the girl because she was with the man and whatever. I mean, we're going to call Aaron's comments what they are. Directly from a pimp's handbook. Directly. All of that game he was spitting is pimp talk. All of it. We all know it. He talked about how he had a stutter at that time. A lot of people didn't know that. But he had a stutter problem. So he didn't even really speak to women. And for her, he said he just walked up and was like, you go on with me. You know, it's funny. I was talking to a pro athlete, right? Recently chatting. And we were chatting about back in the day. And so he was talking about like how when he first got in the league, you know, he would talk to girls a little bit or whatever. But he didn't really have a lot of game. Not that he had like, he was smooth, but he didn't, you know, have a lot of game in that regard. And he said one time he tried it and was like, I'm gonna kidnap you. And he said the girl giggled and was like, okay, and left with them. And that became his go-to line, right? So, I don't know. At 16 years old, you're in a strip club, you're dancing for Luke. Would I think you were an adult? Maybe. Would you necessarily think to ask, like, let me see your ID? I don't know. Right? I don't know. But that is what happened. Urban Spinster said exactly. She chose me. Look, let's take it to the Mac. Pretty Tony. Don't be mad. Your chick chose me. I think that's what Julius said to Pretty Tony in the Mac. One of my favorite movies, by the way. That's a side. But look, Gloria, like I said, she has a podcast on the network, had her own commentary about his comments.
She was standing up with a Jamaican rapper named Mad Lion.
Oh, okay. This is Aaron. And it's going to go into Gloria.
Big Pun, Fat Joe, Method Man, like whoever you speak to, just ask them how I did it. I got out the limo, grabbed her hand, and went upstairs and her. When I saw her, she was dancing with Luke and them. I didn't know she was a puppy, you know what I mean?
That's right.
She was tall, she was big, blonde hair, bone with the black pant leather. I was like, I'm getting that. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows I couldn't even really speak then. I had a speech impediment. I don't stutter anymore. Mm-hmm. So I just went there and just grabbed her hand and went inside the hotel and gave it to her. My mother was Puerto Rican, from Ponce. So when I see anybody that's Spanish, I'm going to grab them.
Okay.
I ain't going to ask if you holding the hand all loose and you holding a conversation with a
preach.
I'm going to take your she chose up already. Now, if she want to go renegade, go renegade.
So I want to say this in response to that we're in a better place now. He apologized to me and my son. He's great to my son, and now we have a grandchild, and he's a great grandfather. So I don't need a public apology. I don't care what people think or what people, you know, the past is the past. I forgive him for everything. And I think forgiveness is key to move forward for healing myself and healing him. And now we can laugh. We've cried about things and we move forward from it. Wow. Yeah. So that's why I could be on Vlad TV,
Slow
you know?
clap. Slow clap, ladies and gentlemen. Slow clap.
Okay, so that was Cisco saying slow clap, slow clap. So listen, that is what she said in July of this year, right? Well, since the allegations have come out, she released a statement, so to speak, on Instagram. And the statement also was in reference to Luke. What she said was, if you don't think grooming is happening in this business, you're sadly mistaken. It started in 1994 with Luke and a few of these others in the business. I was in high school. Did her statement sound anything like that. Again, it's tricky. It's complicated. They have a 20-year-old son. They're grandparents together. So, maybe that's why she went easy on him. She also said, this was a couple of years ago, she spoke out and she said this. Again, she and Aaron have had, ups and down battles. Obviously, you hear how Aaron was speaking. It's no wonder. She was like, I've experienced a lot in this industry and never spoke out because I don't want to hurt anyone's career, even though they hurt me. The only reason why I spoke out about my son's father was because I had to protect my son from him. It wasn't about me. All my life, I've heard, yeah, you was young, but look at you. Your body, you're beautiful. So our society blames the woman always. Look at how you dress. Why did you go there with him? I'm happy women are finally speaking out. And I agree with her. However, again, I ask the question. If you are working as a stripper, as a dancer at 16 for Luke, and Luke said, and we're going to play it in a little bit, he recorded everything. Everybody signed waivers. They were supposed to check in. So you were being a little deceitful, but you had to get it, right? I don't know. It's a complicated thing. She, again, a couple months ago said she's not really tripping. So I don't know where this is going to go, but I know Aaron released something inadvertently that kind of seems to track with what was put out in this case, And what I will say is, I'm going to say this allegedly. Back in the day, like, Aaron being allegedly abusive is not a new thing. Aaron has dogs, and allegedly he would use those dogs to keep women in line back in the day. There is someone that I know that is married to an R&B star right now. They used to deal with Aaron back in the day. That had a horrific experience with him. I don't know if she'll speak out while all of this is going on. Probably not. But horrific experience, allegedly. So, I don't know. The industry, hip hop, was a very, very different place in the 90s. And was Gloria probably taken advantage of by these men? It seems to be something that is familiar, par for the course, in how they treated women. Is it considered grooming if they didn't know how old she was? Don't know. People weren't worried about Aaron. They weren't thinking about him. It was just entertaining stories from back in the day. I said this before, and obviously Aaron is R&B, but I do compare a lot of what happened with hip hop in the 90s to what happened with rock stars in the 70s and their groupie movement. And they went through their time of reckoning too, So it's a lot to consider. Listen, who in the chat mentioned, Pretty Brown Mimi says, I can't believe that Aaron Hall's team thought that interview was going to be a good look. Does Aaron Hall have a team in 2015? Probably not. Probably was a good look to get him to be up relevant. However, Luke told a story. Luke used to have a TV show called Luke's Peep Show that came on back in the day. And Aaron was on there then sharing a similar story. And on the Peep Show, his label ended up asking them if they could edit or not air the interview, because Luke's Peep Show, obviously it was a show that was on a network that was produced by BET, the Action Network. A lot of people didn't know that, but it was, again, pretty advanced show, right? When I say advanced, I mean, it was definitely a Cinemax late night type of vibe. It was a hip hop video with no clothes on, and the women would be in there. And Luke said that Aaron was talking about how virile he was, for lack of a better term, and how he got with it. And Luke had said to him, yeah, R. Kelly says he's nastier than you. And Aaron was like, nobody's nastier than me. I'm Mr. Nasty Man, and went off and then utilized one of the young ladies that was on set to show exactly how nasty he was, a woman he had never met. And was in her butt on camera, and the label freaked out and was like, please take that out. Please never show this interview. So again, there are things that could look really, really, really bad for him. Fahima says a minor can't legally enter a contract. So if Luke knew she was only 16, he knows it's null and void if it even existed. I do understand that, but what Luke is asserting that he did not know that she gave ID and signed paperwork that she was of age, and he left it at that, video of the situation. So again, I know that a minor cannot legally enter into something, but if they present themselves as an adult, right, realistically, how much work should have been gone? And let me tell you the other reason why I low-key believe Luke in this. At that time, Luke was coming off of banned in the USA, Supreme Court going after him. I would imagine, I don't know this to be fact, but I would imagine that you would want to have your legal stuff in order because you just got through kind of tussling with, some government officials and some key heads of states, and they were after him. Not sure, but that is just my thought to this. Brother Alfonso says, all this comes down to we are in an era of autocorrect for what used to be given a pass. We definitely are. Some may say it's an overcorrection. We are definitely in a new era where things that were considered okay are not. People have learned the word grooming and are applying it to absolutely everything. Don't know how I feel about that, but it's there. I'm not, and by saying I don't know how I feel about that, I am not denying the existence of grooming, that it happens, that it may have happened in some of these situations, but I do think the word is overly applied to things that may not necessarily fall under that specific category.